Welcome to Daily Life Connection. Thanks for joining me again today. Well, here we are on the 7th day of Christmas, and I had to show you my Christmas shirt. And here it is. So, oh, what fun it is to ride. Yeah, well, the reality is with the weather the way it has been lately, there hasn't been a lot of riding. But anyway, just a little bit of a fun thing to start the day with today. I trust you're enjoying your Christmas season as we celebrate the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. Today I want to talk about the ever-increasing glory of God. The ever-increasing glory of God. You know, over and over we see, and we talked about Job the other day, how he had a picture of who God is. But when he encountered him, what a difference that made in how he saw God. And he was in awe and wonder of him. We see the psalmist writing over and over again about how I beheld your glory, and the awe of God was there, and so on. And you know, as we walk through the New Testament and we see the disciples following Jesus and they get a revelation that he's Messiah, and then they get a revelation he's risen from the dead. And it just that ever-increasing awe of who our God is. You know, I think of it sort of like hundreds of years ago when people looked at the stars and the heavens, and they marveled at the moon and the stars. And, just it was magnificent, and they were in awe of it. And then humans developed a telescope. And suddenly we could see details on the moon that just amazed us. And we began to be able to see the planets. And we could see that Saturn had rings. And, we began to see those details. And humanity was in awe again of the universe around about us. Well, then we developed Hubble telescope and put it out into space. And we began it just blew our minds to see the incredible cosmos that's out there, and, the stars and the supernovas and all of the galaxies. And anyway, you know what I'm saying? The more we explore the universe, the more we are in awe of it. And that's the way it is with God, isn't it? We get to know him a little bit, and we're like, oh my goodness, he is an amazing God. And then we get a deeper revelation, and it's like, I couldn't have imagined. And then we get a deeper revelation, and the longer we live, the more we explore who he is, the more amazing and awesome he becomes in our lives. You know, and another illustration that I think of is someone who's exploring a cave, and they discover a hole, an entrance into a cave, and they're like, oh my goodness, we didn't know this was here. What an amazing discovery. What a great find this is. And then they go into that cave a little bit, and they realize, wow, it's big, it's amazing in here. It's bigger than we thought. We didn't have any idea there was anything like this here. And as they explore farther in, they come into another big room, and there's stalactites and stalagmites, and there's all these glorious, magnificent sculptures in there. And it's like, wow, we've got to tell people. And then they explore further. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden they find waterfalls, and they find all kinds of things that they never imagined were right there, buried under the ground that they had walked over so many times. That's how it is in our journey with God, is the more we explore him, the more amazing he becomes, the more enraptured we are with who he is, because he is endless. He is endless. He is infinity. There is no end to the greatness of our God and the dimensions of our God and the facets of our God. It's a lifelong, exciting exploration. And that's what I invite us to do this coming year, is, this past year we've looked a lot at who is God and what's he like and what kind of heart does he have and what's his character. But my goodness, we haven't begun to explore who he is or discover who he is. So I want to encourage you this coming year to make it your quest to discover more about who our God is, to see him bigger and bigger, that we to magnify the Lord. It isn't that he gets bigger, but that we see him as he really is. We see him bigger. And so, let's just pray, God, give us a holy telescope to explore the vastness of who our God is this coming year. I know it's going to be a great journey. And, it's a good time, always the end of the year is a good time to stop and reflect. And today, let's reflect on what have you discovered about God this year as we have walked through this, 260 some or 270 some sessions together. What have you discovered about God? What has surprised you? What has made you smile about God? What has encouraged you? Have you thought of God in a way that you didn't before? I'd love to have you share those in the comments today so that we can join you in your exploration, join you in your discoveries of who this amazing God is. And I believe this is going to be an even greater year of getting to know him in ways and in levels and in depths that we never have before. Thank you for joining me this year. Look forward to spending time with you in the coming year. God bless you. We'll talk again tomorrow.